Go. Hi guys, welcome to another video with Silver Devils. This is a post-game analysis of the Tottenham match that we played at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So again, joining us is Ron as the preview. He's going to join us for the post-match analysis as well, and Nishit as well.
Great.
You guys know Nishit by now. Welcome, guys. So Nishit, why don't you go ahead and do a recap of the whole game, what happened? That we,
I think
yeah.
it was good. It was good to have football back. Good to see the boys out on the field. It was superb. I feel that first, I think when they just walked in, it was like, oh shit, this is like stress.
Right,
Oh man,
right.
that relief they walked on the pitch, that was like crazy. I think pretty much what our predicted lineup almost similar. I think Scott McTominay started. I think most of us wanted
Hmm.
predicting Matic to start.
I think,
Uh,
yeah, I think the only one that I got wrong was Greenwood instead of
yeah,
James.
James.
That's,
Ron
Yeah,
and me were
yeah.
talking about James. Yeah, James is going to start, and I think he's not going to start the next game. That we'll talk about later.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
then I think the entire game, I don't know, Mourinho being Mourinho parked the bus from the minute one. So
At home.
I think he's just playing on the counter. And United were a bit slow to start off with, though. I mean, I think probably a little rusty. A couple
Mhm.
of mild chances in the start, and then we had just before the drinks break, or just after the drinks break, rather, on the counter, Harry Maguire and Lindelof completely, I don't know, where it's he and Bergwijn just ran through them, and then we have De Gea making another mistake, guys. This is, I don't know, Sergio
Oh
Romero
my
and
God.
Henderson. I think now we have
Can
to put
we,
another.
right? Can we stop and talk about the goal by itself? Ron, what are your views on the goal? Did you get to analyze it a little bit? What did you
Uh,
find that went wrong with that goal?
I think, again, there were a few things that went wrong one after another as this
Hmm.
happened. The first thing was
Hmm.
Luke Shaw. I mean, I think Evra and Keane discussed this in the Sky Sports studio about this, and I agree with them. Luke Shaw, instead of chesting the ball and stopping it, he headed the ball and ran forward. That was the first mistake. He headed the ball right back into the action, and then
And yeah,
Bergwijn got it. He went forward. Up after that, Van Bissaka was playing Bergwijn onside. There was no communication in the defense. Maguire was left for dead by Bergwijn. I mean, he was rooted in his spot, like wondering what just happened. And before he could process what had happened, this guy shot at De Gea, and I have no idea what De Gea was doing. Like it
Right,
went straight at him, and it's like
right,
he did not expect it to come straight at him,
right.
and
or rather, he went with a
it
way
went
like
in.
a slow motion kind of. I don't know. He just went slowly this way, and I don't know. I mean, De
Yeah.
You know
Gea.
what? There are a couple of things that I noticed with the goal that has not been spoken of. First, obviously, the Lucia error. The second thing is Harry Maguire. See, it's a basic defense thing, right? It's the same thing with basketball. It's the same thing with NFL and a lot of other sports. When a defender is showing the attacker to come onto one side, you make sure the defender does the attacker doesn't go on the other side.
Yeah.
Harry Maguire was asking Bergwijn to run on the outside, and he had the inside flank covered. So basically, he was turning himself like that. Bergwijn is running like this, and basically he should have not let enough room for Bergwijn to run behind him, which is error 101. Harry Maguire didn't have the pace. Second thing, Lindelof didn't close the gap enough in case Bergwijn had come across. Lindelof didn't close it. The third thing that's the most obscene thing that I've ever seen David De Gea do is I think he was caught in two minds. His right fist was completely clasped and his left fist was like this. You either punch the ball or you do this. So he
It went
had
off
one
the
fist like this.
went off the
He
right.
had one fist like this, and then one fist completely open. So it hit his right fist that was clasped, bounced off of it, and went straight in.
But
Like
I think
it's
he was actually caught. I mean, he
and it
didn't
was
expect it
straight
to be
at
that
him.
powerful. Yeah,
It was hit
exactly.
straight at him. I mean,
Yeah.
he's being paid $300,000. I mean, sorry, $300,000.
Um,
I think pounds. No,
pounds. Yeah.
Can't be a pound.
Yeah.
A week? Wow. And a textbook
Yeah.
schoolboy error. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to bring a lot of conversation
So
on
I think
David De Gea
he
next
sort of
season.
made up for it in a couple of minutes after that with that save.
I mean,
But
it's
like, like you should expect him to save that. I think it was
he
Yes.
has
not.
to.
I think it should have
It
been
was
saved
just
by
straight
any
at him.
keeper, not just a yeah. Any keeper should have saved that.
Yeah.
They,
Son
they, they
was.
paid they paid to do this.
Yeah, but I think just after the goal, Tottenham got back into the game. I mean, they were actually threatening United for like I think about 10, 12 minutes post the goal.
Mhm.
United, I think they were completely unorganized. Their defense. I mean, Saka, Luke Shaw leaving too many gaps behind, and they were just using that. Basically, you saw Bergwijn was going or Son was going off to the wide flanks and just crossing the ball in. We saw Son there with that header, almost scoring. Uh, and I think towards the end of the half, again, it became like, sort of slow. United, I don't think they had any chance, particularly after the goal. I think in the second half, that's when things started moving a bit for United. What do you guys think? Should Pogba have come on at halftime?
I think so. Yes, I really
Yeah,
think so.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he
I
came
mean,
on
He
in
should
the
have.
he
He
would
should
have
have been
second.
on.
would
Yeah.
have definitely made a difference. But for all we know, I mean, we can only speculate saying that okay, Pogba should have come on at halftime. He would have made a huge difference. But for all you know, he's probably not fit enough for him to play 45 minutes of football, high intense football. Let let's remember the fact that he hasn't played football in about like proper competitive football in about 8 months. I mean, he came in between in December, played what 1, 2 games, and then went back again injured. I'm not even going to consider that. He's been out for the last 8 months. So I mean, I'm glad he played the whatever 35 minutes that he did, but I really think we should have like it's all right. It's all right in the grand scheme of things. It's all right that we at least he came on and he made a huge impact, right? Pogba came
Yeah.
and made
Yeah, I
a
mean,
made a huge
he did
impact, but
not look like he was off the field for so many months. He just
right,
came
right,
right in and just started doing his thing.
Oh, he
right.
was
He
That's
was
the
couple of
winning the ball. He was
couple of
skill,
holding players and just going
right?
those passes. He was getting the passes.
oh, that one pass
Skill
to
wise, that's
that
right. Skill.
was
Oh,
nine.
that through. Oh,
That
that
Yeah,
that was straight to
that
Rashford. Rashford
crossfield
that
ball to
I don't know.
Rashford.
Rashford
yeah.
Oh,
first touch just gave it away, but I thought Rashford should have done much better there.
see, right. If I had to sum up the whole game in one word, I'd probably say rusty. Right. Everybody, including Tottenham and United, were completely rusty. Everybody was rusty. People's first touches were poor. Their shots didn't connect too well. Defense was all over the place on both times. Uh,
Yeah. Martial, I think, was as usual invisible. I don't know what happens to him.
right,
And then
right. But he had some
Yeah,
really good chances, two really
he had
good
one
chances
good
where
chance. He was. I think that was a massive save by.
oh, that was a
yes.
huge save by
And he
Lloris.
had a
That was
brilliant
a world class
first half
save.
as well of
Yeah,
Rashford. First time shot, Rashford.
That was a beautiful
On
shot as
the
well. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
the half,
The half
yeah,
volley. Yeah, to
hmm
the far post. Lloris probably saved them, got them the 2 points. Rather saved them the 2 points that they
agreed. Yeah,
rather got
he
them
was
the
their
one
man of the
point
match
rather.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure. He was really good.
yeah.
Like
I
there
don't
was
think
no
Tottenham
going
were
out.
there in the second half. Tottenham were camped in their half. I don't think they even had. I don't remember a shot
yeah.
at target. I don't
Yeah,
even remember a shot.
They
I
just went
mean,
into the right, the usual
it's
Mourinho low block.
Yeah.
it's a
I mean,
disgrace at
I don't think
home.
he even
At
wanted to
home,
score after that. It was pretty.
disgrace at
I
home.
brought in his changes very very late, and I think he in the post match I think interview he had mentioned that this 5-star food is only
Right.
favoring clubs with money. Classic.
Classic
Classic
Mourinho
Jose. Yeah.
to blame everything else other than himself. Uh, I
Let's
mean,
talk about our goal. Let's talk about our goal.
yeah, yeah, for sure. No, do you want to talk about our chances though? I think we had the goal is. I mean, Pogba. It was all in all Pogba. It was just Pogba with his sheer brilliance.
Left,
Just,
left,
he showed everything. He showed strength. He showed skill. He showed determinance. All of that just purely led to our chance, right? Or rather the penalty shout. So I mean, Ron. I mean that was a clear penalty, but Mourinho decided that it was not going to be a penalty. Rather, he thought it was not a penalty. What were your thoughts on the second penalty that was given and later decided that it shouldn't be given as a penalty? What were your thoughts on that?
I think it
You
was
think that
pretty
was a
clear that
penalty?
the second one was not a penalty because, I mean, Bruno decided that something touched him, so he tried his luck. That's what it looked like to me.
Right,
And it was too soft to be given a penalty anywhere and
right,
anytime. And if it had been
right.
given by VAR, I would have loved to see Mourinho's face.
He
He
had
would have
He was
been
already lost.
already
fuming.
furious.
He
He was
he had already
already.
lost
He
his
was
head.
already
Yeah, he had
furious that
already lost his head.
he was still complaining about the second VAR decision for some reason, even
Right,
though it went in
right,
his favor.
right, right.
That was
That's probably
missed
classic
that.
Mourinho,
Missed that.
just like yeah, playing the victim's card. Classic Mourinho. So I
Bruno
mean,
was
yeah.
cool as ice when he took the penalty.
Man,
I mean,
that guy seems like he can never miss a penalty. That guy looks like he
yeah,
can never miss a penalty. He has it looks like he has ample amount of time. He goes, calms down. Probably just a fraction of a second before he shoots the ball, he sees where the goalkeeper is gonna go and puts it the other side.
He was the man of the match again this game, and I
Yeah,
think this is his fifth or the sixth game that
yeah.
he's got the man of the match award, and
Six. So
he's never
every
lost a
single
game.
game. Yeah.
He's not
Every
lost a game.
And every
It's great.
single game that he's played for United in the Premier League, he's been the man of the match, which is
Which is mad.
speaks,
And
speaks yeah,
I think
which
with
speaks volume.
Pogba, he looked so good. Like both of
absolutely.
them had this connect, and it was quick, really smooth movement. They were so. I mean, they were always one step ahead. I don't know,
Right.
just looked world class. Suddenly, our midfield was like, whoa! Actually, these guys are
Right.
playing solid, proper football there. It was great to
Yeah.
watch. I think like after the penalty with Ighalo and Greenwood also coming on, it was super movement all through. I think Greenwood looks quite strong, quite built. Huh? He looks he doesn't
Yeah,
look.
he has
He's
really
put
put
on
on
quite a
mass.
bit of
Yeah,
muscle.
like
Yeah,
lean
he's
mass.
put on quite
He's
a
like
bit
a
of
beast
muscle.
now.
Yeah,
He had the
yeah.
chance in the end. I thought he was going to score. It was like the typical
Oh,
position.
seriously,
Bro,
absolutely.
typical Greenwood, just cuts in,
Yes.
has a shot. I expected him to hit near post. That's what he
Yeah,
usually does
exactly.
most of the time.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, he went far post. Oh, what about that screamer from? Okay, not a screamer, but that long range effort from Bruno that just
Yeah.
whistled past the post, man. That almost brushed the post on the other side that we would have wanted to do. How unfortunate. You know what? If there was one team that looked like they were going to win that football match, it was United through and through. I can't honestly think of a proper chance that Tottenham had other than
And
that goal that
the game.
Bergwijn
I
scored
don't even know
and
the
that
name of it.
Son's attempt. I
Yeah.
don't think they had. Oh, Harry Maguire pocketed Harry Kane. I thought Harry Maguire pocketed Harry Kane, didn't leave him a whistle, didn't leave him an ounce of space. He was always at his back, constantly putting pressure on him, getting the ball off of his feet every time he got the ball.
But I
He
think
was,
Kane was making it
I
easy
mean,
also. I mean, Kane didn't have
yeah,
the best
yeah,
of his game.
yeah. He didn't.
Yeah,
He
he was
never
quite
had.
rusty.
He never has his best
Yeah.
game against United. If you remember, he never has a good game against United, which is a good thing for us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
don't have it. I don't know. They don't have anyone to get off the bench to replace Kane, which is a problem for
Lucas
Spurs.
Moura, he's injured or what?
The
Lucas
He
Moura
got
was
injured in warm up.
Yeah, yeah.
During warm up,
Uh,
he got
Sure.
a head injury or
We're,
something.
we're,
So.
we're glad he was injured. He's
yeah,
got
actually, I
quite
guess
a bit
he
of pace.
scored against
He
United
runs.
last time, and
Yeah.
they won when they won 2 games back. I think the last season was.
Yeah, last season. Yeah.
I think overall, I mean, second half performance was far better than the first, and I think if the second half performance is what is going to be, Ole's way, I think we should be winning more games, and especially against the lesser teams.
Weaker
With
opponent.
Bruno
Yeah.
and Pogba coming off, even if they don't start together and they come off in the second half together, I think we're going to score more goals for sure. I think we're at least having a lot of shots on target. We're always in the attacking half, and it looks good. It looked good. Definitely good for me.
Yeah, but
Do you know who
I noticed one thing.
Yeah.
when Fred came off, he didn't really look that happy when
He
he was
didn't. He
substituted.
didn't.
Did you guys notice
He
that?
didn't. Yeah, yeah, he did. He did.
I mean, even I
Honestly,
expected
I
McTominay to
honestly,
come off
yeah,
instead of
yeah.
Fred.
I thought McTominay had a far worse game than Fred did, and I was very surprised that Fred did, considering the fact that your Tottenham hardly even attacked, and we had more of the ball, and we had to push it forward. I thought Fred would have done a better job
But I
than
think he's using that.
McTominay would have done.
Fred's going to start the next game as well against Sheffield, so it's probably to
He
save legs
better, he
also.
better, yeah,
Could be, could be.
Because the
yeah,
games are going to
but
come pretty fast, right? We're going to have every 3 days we're going to have a game. So we need, like, Fred is going to be in the starting 11 most of the time. So I'm not sure if he's going to play him 90 minutes all the way through in most games at least. And we have good backup, like we have decent enough backup to cover in those defensive positions. So I guess probably Fred is going to start the next game, and I'm second guessing McTominay to start the next game because he played the 90.
yeah,
Looking
he
at Matic starting.
and he didn't have a great game either. McTominay had a very average game. He was not too great on the ball passing. He didn't really have too many interceptions. He had a couple of them which were really nice, but I don't think he had too many interceptions. Or he didn't have too much of an effect on the game. There was a ton of misplaced passes from McTominay. It could just be him being rusty or whatever, but he didn't have the best of games. So did Wan-Bissaka, guys. Wan-Bissaka went unnoticed ever since the
Yeah.
start of the season. This is probably one of his poorest games that wearing the United shirt.
And
I don't
he
think
got good positions in the attacking half. I don't think he crosses that well at all.
Yeah.
He's going back
And
to
he wasn't
Wan-Bissaka
getting much
before.
support also, to be fair.
yeah. Defensively also
The space opened up just after the goal, like towards the end. I think the last 10-15 minutes, he was getting a lot of space to cross because obviously they were allowing that space on that, and they were being very narrow in defense. So
Right.
Bissaka had a couple of chances to cross in, but as usual, he hit the first guy.
Yeah, I think he had one really good cross with his left foot of all crosses. He had one really good cross of his left foot where he almost got through to Rashford, and rather he got through to Rashford. And Rashford had a header, and there was not enough power on it. And this is closer towards the end.
Another person or another player who again didn't impress James.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very quiet,
I
very
mean, he
quiet.
put in the
very
effort,
quiet.
but not much of an end product.
Yeah, I think one guy who I would change in the next would be James for sure. Greenwood
Yeah.
start for sure.
Greenwood start. Yeah.
I think that should
I
be.
think James makes a better impact coming off the bench.
Correct.
Hitting the tired left wingers. That'll definitely be a good tactical move, especially against the lesser opponents like your Sheffields and your the teams further down that we have to face in the future. I think Dan James will be a better option off the bench, where Greenwood can be more of the guy who comes in and tries to break down the defense and play. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
okay. So guys, so
You want to do a quick play rating? You want to do a quick?
Yeah, sure. We can do a quick player rating. I think everybody can just go from the back. I think each one of us will get one player, and we'll give a rating, and we'll see if the other person agrees. So Ron, why don't you start with De Gea? Let's do it on 10. On 10.
I think De Gea, I would probably give him like a 3 on 10.
Ooh, that's harsh. That's harsh.
It is harsh because it costs us the game.
But he did manage to pull off that amazing save against Son, which is and honestly his distribution was not too bad. He did make a couple of really good balls from when he was put under pressure. He managed to find a United player that he never used to before. I personally wouldn't give him a 3. I'd probably go with more like a 6 or 6.5 out of 10.
I think 5 is good. 5 is where.
Okay, we'll probably
Okay, let's go for a 5. Yeah.
Okay, Nishit,
Agreed.
we'll start with Wan-Bissaka. What would you give Wan-Bissaka?
So he didn't do anything special in the game, so I'll probably just give him that 6, which is like, yeah. he was, I mean, a regular game, nothing extraordinary. So that,
Yeah, five. He won
Yeah,
five
he
out of
got a
six
couple of good
tackles.
tackles in
Five
his
out of six
standard
tackles he
tackles,
won.
and that's about it.
Yeah,
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 6 wins,
yeah.
and I
He
think
had a
six.
quiet game. I'd probably give him a seven. Ron, you'd give him a six again.
Six. Yeah, I'll go
Yeah,
with the
okay.
six as well.
Okay. Lindelof.
What about
I don't
you,
know, man.
Arjun? Why did
Lindelof.
you give him?
Lindelof. I'd give him a six because he had a very quiet game and he won a couple of headers here and there, and he was not too bad. But at the same time, he didn't ooze of confidence. Nor did he give me too much of confidence. I'd probably give him a six. Um, what do you guys think?
I
You
would
guys
agree
agree?
with, because I think Lindelof was also at fault for that goal, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was looking a little shaky, especially before and after the goal. He
Yes.
became a little settled towards the second half, but I think the first half he was shaky, and yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah. I think he doesn't handle pressure too well. I really don't think he handles pressure too
hopefully the nech game, like
well.
they will settle and become that centre back partnership that we're looking at,
Uh-huh.
as it was so good
Right,
before the break.
right.
Yeah, I think they
Ron,
just need to get that rhythm
Harry,
going. Yeah,
yeah, Ron, Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire. I mean, honestly speaking, other than that one mistake, I think he had a solid game. He didn't put much of a, he didn't put a foot wrong after that. And because of that, I think he would get a 7 for me.
I'd agree. I mean,
Agree.
just because of the goal, I'd probably give him a six. Because
Hmm.
he was probably one of the, other than De Gea, he was probably the other person to blame the most for the goal. Uh,
Hmm.
Okay,
yeah, I'd
let
probably
him.
give him a six. Yeah, yeah. Luke Shaw, guys, Luke Shaw and Nishit, Luke Shaw.
You know me and Luke Shaw
Considering Nishit
too
wanted
well.
Brandon Williams.
That's why I
think
think
came to
Brandon Williams,
came
guys.
to the right person.
Luke Shaw didn't do
Came to
too
the
much
right person.
anyway. I think
Yeah,
he
he
had
had a
that
really
one.
bad game.
Yeah, I think he had that cross to Martial, right, where Martial almost scored with that lorry save. So I think that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
for sure. And he also, I think, had one more. Attacking wise, he was not bad at all. I think he was in the second half always a threat. But yeah,
Yeah.
defensively, he was the first person to lose the ball. So
I
again, that stays with Shaw, and that's why there's always a doubt with him starting the game. So I
And
would
he
probably
did.
give six.
He looked
I would
really
give a
lethargic. He
six.
looked
Yeah,
really.
I would.
I'd give him a five. I'd give him a five because I thought he was really bad. He looked lethargic. He looked absolutely off the pace. He was not in line with the defense. Most of the time, he was always further ahead. I don't know if that was the instructions from Ole for him to push ahead and support Rashford, but he always looked like he was at least like 10 yards ahead of the rest of the back line, I definitely give him a five. You'd agree
He
with
had
six,
a good.
Ron?
I think I would give him a 7 because after Rashford was moved from the left flank, all the attack was happening through Shaw. I mean, Martial was not really doing much on the left side if Shaw was not there. He was being
Yeah.
fed only by Shaw. In terms
I
of
think
defense, yes, I agree. He was a little shaky. He got that one good header in the second half when he came in a little late but managed to clear the header, which was
yeah,
passed
You
yeah.
know
to, I
what?
think,
He would have been
Bergwijn,
in a
if you
better.
remember that.
You know what? He would have been in a better position. I was just telling it to a friend of mine who was watching the game with. He wouldn't have been in a position for him to push it to a corner had he had his position in the first place, where he would have be able to head it back into play. That's something that I thought of.
But fair enough. Yeah, I mean, sure.
He's
Ideally,
not in good
yeah,
position.
All right, I think
yeah.
5, 6,
So
7. So let's average it to 6.
Yeah,
So
6. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
then we go into
Uh,
Fred and
You know
McTominay.
what?
So Fred.
I really like Fred. I thought he was really good. He was. I think he was far better than McTominay. I definitely give him a 7.5. I think he was the only one who looked like he had some energy and he wanted to push the ball forward. Other than Bruno Fernandes, he looked energetic. He wanted to get the ball. He wanted to push forward. He wanted to move there. He wanted to move here. I thought he had a really good game. I was honestly very surprised when Ole took him off and brought Pogba on. Considering that we were a goal down and we were chasing a goal. Yeah, so
For
I'd
me,
say
too, I think 7 is fair. He had a decent. McTominay.
Ron?
McTominay, I mean, when you put him alongside Fred, I think Fred was the better player. So just on that fact alone, I don't think he deserves a 7 either. And McTominay, he was okay. I mean, he did not do a lot of bad things, but we know what he can do better. He can break up plays. He intercepts the ball well. He gets that foul in where it is required. He does not shy away from a tackle, and it just felt like he needs to get the hang of things, and he was a little rusty again, just like most of the other players. So I would say a 6.5 maybe. I mean, I don't think it was bad enough to go for a 6. So
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd not agree. I think he was more of a 6. I think there was a lot of mistakes passes. Let me see if I can pull up his stats in a little bit. But Nishad, why don't you go ahead with Bruno's rating? Let's go.
Bruno, man of the match. So, yeah, I think he ran the game in the first half. You can see that everybody trusts him, and they just look for Bruno. Even from the back, I think Maguire and Lindelof always look for Bruno. And he was coming in when, like, after probably the first 15, 16 minutes, he started coming into his own half and started, dictating the play from there. So you can see that hunger, and he's so clever. He's so clever, so intelligent, and he's amazing.
Yeah,
I think
he's
I
brave.
think he had.
I
He
feel
had a
he's
few
really
shots.
brave because he always looks for the ball. He's
Yeah.
always ready. He always asks for the ball, and he makes something happen.
Yeah, I think 8 should be fair for him. What
Yeah.
about you guys?
Yeah, I think 8 works fine. The only thing that
Yeah.
I'd say negative about Bruno is that probably the a couple of shots that he had that he took, he should rather look to pass it to at least the last shot, probably the last play of
The
the
last
game.
shot of the game.
Instead of taking the shot, he should have definitely looked at Igalo to pass it. To pass it to Igalo. Igalo had a better chance at hitting the goal rather than Bruno did. But nevertheless, he had a great game. He probably had the most impact on than any other player on the pitch.
Move on to the front three.
Okay, so I had to look at Scott's thing. So apparently, out of 59 passes, he got 49 passes that were successful. So that's 1 in 6 that he mispassed, which is pretty bad for a defensive midfielder.
I think we probably get the Fred. I think Fred was getting almost everything right. I think he was.
Fred looked like he was more.
Also, if you guys notice, Matic, when we talk about Matic when we rate him, for the front first, let's have James.
Yeah,
I think
James had an off game, man. I'd probably give him a 6.
Nothing to note, actually. I don't think he had anything of reference.
He didn't have great runs either. He didn't use his pace too well. Probably it was the fault of the midfield not being able to spread the ball to him, or it was just the fact that Mourinho had set up his defense so well that he didn't let James have a sniff at the ball too much. That could possibly be it as well.
Rashford?
I mean, he faded away quite quickly.
Rashford, Ron?
I think Rashford had some good chances. He looked confident, but then he looked quite rusty. And as we saw from the ball which Pogba fed him, and he miscontrolled it, I think a better touch, and that was definitely a goal for Rashford. I mean, the Rashford who played the first half of the season would have definitely scored that goal, with the confidence that was flowing through him. And this coming back after the injury, he's a little rusty. And but he was trying to make things happen. He was the one who was trying to get balls. Anyways, when he started from the left, he was trying to do the interplays with other players. He tried some with Martial, didn't really work through, but he was trying. And I would say he would be a 7.5 for me.
Yeah,
that's quite high.
So I would probably again base it on Martial. So between Rashford and Martial, probably Rashford had a better game. So if I give Rashford a 7, then Martial would be a 6. So that's probably why I would give Rashford a 7.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Martial,
I think Rashford
yeah.
is a 6.5 or a 7 at best. Yeah. And Marshall again. Marshall had an off game. You know what? Marshall has these games quite regularly. I was telling a friend of mine who was watching the game with. I was telling Marshall these kind of games is when Marshall ends up scoring a goal when he's non-existent in the whole game, and then suddenly out of nowhere Marshall pops and he has his one chance and he bangs it straight in because he's so clinical despite him not being in the game so much, not being so involved in the play. I think he didn't do bad with his hold-up play as well. Considering that he got very little that he had to hold up and play. Igalo didn't have too much so for him to hold up and play either. So I think Marshall was not too bad. 6.5 is decent enough.
I mean, he didn't do anything wrong, but he didn't.
Right. He didn't do too much either. Yeah.
So 6.5.
I mean, he did really well with the shot that he got in, which Laurie saved. That was a really good shot.
Really good shot.
Considering
He couldn't run
the
better.
position.
And about our subs who came on, like the first one was obviously Pogba and Greenwood who came on. So let's go with Pogba first. I think Pogba changed the game. Definitely added a lot of energy, a lot of a different dynamic completely, and it looked like United just suddenly looked like so much better with Pogba in. So definitely Pogba was 7.5 for sure. 8.
Eight. Yeah, I'd give him an 8. I'd give him an 8. He didn't put a foot wrong. You know, there's not a wrong pass. There was not a wrong challenge. There was not a wrong dribble. Probably the only thing that always frustrates me about Pogba is when the ball is in our own half and Pogba tries to use his strength. He puts his back against the goal that we are supposed to score at, tries to shield the ball and holds the ball on for too long, and then two players come from the opposition, try to get the ball off of him, and then there's a counter attack. He didn't do that too much. There was just one instance, but he managed to turn around and really make a quick pass. Not more than 5 seconds he took. So I don't think he put a foot wrong. He was really good. Pogba was really good. He's definitely getting an 8.
What about Greenwood?
Ron, why don't you talk about Greenwood?
Greenwood, I mean, on his flank, he didn't really have too much of space. I think at the point after they came in, Tottenham were playing really deep, and there's not much he could do in terms of dribbling and trying to get the ball into the box. He got a couple of chances. I really thought he would score because we know he gets his shots on targets no matter what. His shots usually end up on target, and that was a good shot, even though he played it on his right foot. I would say a 6.5 to 7, maybe a 6.5. Yeah, because he didn't do much.
Yeah, I think same, and I think the remaining sub not too much of an impact, so you don't need to rate them like Matic by Gallo.
Yeah. But I really think Matic had a great game. Yeah, Matic had a great game for whatever little that he played. He looked
sharp.
He looked
sharper.
Calm and composed.
He looked far sharper than McTominay did. To be honest, you know. Yeah,
that's why like he's going to definitely start the next game. I think McTominay probably.
Yeah.
I think it was a good talk. This match is something. I think after the first game, United's first game back, it looked solid. Good to see. At least wear a jersey and football. So
brought smiles to my face after a while, man.
What did you guys think of the fake crowd noise, by the way?
I absolutely.
Dude, but I'm not joking. I actually
even I enjoyed it. I was happy.
It wasn't watching Bundesliga, and it was so. This was far better. Like it was actually much better to watch.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I was happy that there was some crowd noise.
Because, and also they put in like players on the in the stand, and they all sit like far off. At least looks like somebody's watching the game, and with that noise, fine. Yeah, some kind of an
I
experience.
don't know.
I think it was a
absolutely
funny
nice.
moment in between when they showed Daniel Levy sitting all alone and watching the match.
Who wears a mask but doesn't cover his nose? Danny
Yeah,
Lee.
that is what I noticed
I'm
as
like,
well.
I'm like, bro,
Yeah, that would be
bro.
probably
Take it off.
it'll
Like,
be-
why are you
I
bothering?
think it's tweeting immediately. I think it was tweeting already after that. Anyways, looking forward to next
Good talk,
Tuesday.
guys.
Looking
Yeah.
forward to Sheffield on Tuesday. We'll be probably doing a pre-match like tomorrow night, guys. So do tune in again. Definitely like, subscribe, comment, share. We're back into football again. So looking forward. See you guys. Thanks,
See you.
Ron.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Ron.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.